time theft. Every week, the average commuter loses 15 hours to transportation. That's 780 hours per year vanishing into the windshield void. You've probably noticed this yourself sitting on the I-45 in Los Angeles or crawling through the M25 around London. Those hours aren't just inconvenient, they're irreplaceable time stolen from activities that actually matter. A study from the University of Zurich found that commuters consistently underestimate their travel time by 30%. Your brain literally lies to you about how much life you're losing. Sydney workers average 67 minutes each way. That's over 11 hours weekly just traveling. Meanwhile, someone working remotely reclaims that time for exercise, family, or skill building. The compounding effect over a career is devastating. A 40-year work life with average commute times equals 31,200 hours lost. That's 3.5 years of waking hours you'll never recover. Urban sprawl didn't happen by accident. City planners chose highways over housing density, and you're paying the price in minutes every single day. Health damage. Your body wasn't designed to sit in a metal box for hours daily. Long commutes correlate with higher blood pressure, elevated cortisol levels, and increased body mass index. Washington University found every extra 10 minutes of commuting measurably decreases physical activity. You've seen this pattern in cities like Houston, where the average resident drives 37 miles daily and excess weight rates exceed the national average by 8 percentage points. The sedentary nature of driving creates a cascade of physiological problems. Your spine compresses, circulation decreases, and metabolic rate drops significantly. Workers with commutes exceeding 45 minutes report 40% higher rates of chronic back pain compared to those with shorter trips. The stress response is equally damaging. Cortisol spikes during traffic congestion don't fully dissipate between commutes. Your body stays in low-level fight-or-flight mode constantly. Studies from the University of Montreal showed that commuters in car-dependent areas had measurably higher inflammation markers. Meanwhile, cyclists in Amsterdam report better cardiovascular health, despite similar travel distances. The infrastructure determines the health outcome. Family impact. Remember those dinner conversations you planned? Long commutes eliminate them systematically. Parents with 60-plus minute commutes spend 25% less time with their children daily. That deficit compounds into relationship damage that research shows persists into adulthood. The math is brutal. If you leave at 7 a.m. and return at 7 p.m., you've missed breakfast, homework help, and meaningful evening interaction entirely. A study tracking families in Dallas suburbs found that children of long-distance commuters reported feeling significantly less connected to their parents. Spousal relationships suffer equally. Couples where one partner commutes over an hour daily have 40% higher rates of relationship dissatisfaction. Quality time requires actual time, and commuting steals it relentlessly. The cruel irony is that families often move to distant suburbs for better schools or more space. But the commute required to afford that house eliminates the family time the house was supposed to enable. Planners call this drive until you qualify. You drive farther to find affordable housing, then spend the savings on gas and vehicle wear. Your family pays the real cost in missed moments and disconnected relationships. Career limits. Your commute tolerance determines your job market size. Most workers refuse jobs requiring over 45 minutes of travel. This artificial boundary shrinks your career opportunities dramatically. In metropolitan areas like Toronto, workers living in distant suburbs can only access 30% of available jobs within their commute tolerance. Downtown residents access 85% of that same market. The career ceiling this creates is measurable and significant. Research from Stanford found that workers with longer commutes receive fewer promotions and smaller raises over time. The reason is straightforward. They can't stay late for important meetings, can't network after hours, and arrive already depleted. Geographic job lock is equally damaging. Workers hesitate to leave bad positions because changing jobs might require moving or accepting worse commutes. This reluctance gives employers leverage they shouldn't have. You've probably felt this yourself, staying in a mediocre role because the alternatives all involve traffic nightmares. Cities designed around car dependency create invisible cages around careers. The highway system promised freedom, but delivered constraint instead. Financial drain. The average American household spends $12,000 annually on cars. For commuters in expensive markets like San Francisco or Boston, costs often exceed $15,000 yearly. Think about what else that money could accomplish instead. A $12,000 annual investment, earning 7% returns, becomes $1.2 million over 40 years. Your commute isn't just costing you money today, it's costing you retirement security tomorrow. The hidden expenses multiply the damage further. Longer commutes require more reliable vehicles, which means newer and more expensive purchases. Professional clothing depreciates faster with daily wear. Convenience food becomes necessary when cooking time disappears. Real estate economics compound the problem significantly. Distant suburbs seem cheaper until you calculate total transportation costs. Households in car-dependent areas spend 25% of income on transportation versus 9% in walkable neighborhoods. The affordable house in the exurbs often costs more total than the expensive apartment near transit. If you're commuting to save money on housing, you should probably run the complete numbers again. Mental health. Commuting correlates with high stress and anxiety. Workers with commutes exceeding 45 minutes report 33% higher rates of mental health concerns. The isolation of car commuting removes social interaction that humans require for psychological well-being. You've experienced this phenomenon yourself in miniature. Remember the difference between days working from home versus fighting traffic? That mood shift isn't imaginary. Researchers at the University of Cambridge found that switching from car commuting to walking or cycling produced mental health improvements equivalent to getting a significant pay raise. The psychological toll includes more than just traffic frustration. Long commutes reduce sleep duration, eliminate exercise time, and create schedule stress that compounds daily. Workers feel they exist primarily just to move between locations. Cities like Copenhagen invested heavily in cycling infrastructure and now report among the highest happiness scores globally. Meanwhile, car-dependent cities consistently rank lower on well-being measures. The design choice becomes the mental health outcome directly. Social isolation. Your commute eliminates community participation entirely. Workers with long travel times volunteer less, attend fewer local events, and report knowing fewer neighbors. The mathematics of time scarcity make community engagement basically impossible. Research from Harvard tracked social capital across American cities and found direct correlation with commute duration. Every extra 10 minutes, commuting cuts civic participation by 10%. Long-distance commuters don't join local organizations because they're never actually in their neighborhood during waking hours. You've probably noticed this in suburbs designed around driving. Streets empty of pedestrians, neighbors who never interact, communities that exist only in name. The car becomes an isolation chamber transporting you between indoor destinations. Compare this to neighborhoods designed for walking instead. Mixed-use areas where residents encounter each other daily develop social bonds automatically. Studies in Melbourne found that walkable neighborhoods had significantly higher rates of community trust. The street design determines whether community happens or doesn't happen at all. Life quality reduction. The cumulative effect of commuting reduces overall life satisfaction measurably. Researchers tracking happiness across populations consistently find that commute time is among the strongest predictors of daily mood and long-term well-being. A Swedish economist called commuting the activity producing the least positive emotion. Every additional minute spent traveling correlates with reduced life satisfaction that persists across all other activities. Your commute doesn't just affect the commute itself, it colors your entire daily experience negatively. Workers in transit-oriented cities like Zurich and Vienna report significantly higher quality of life despite similar income levels to car-dependent counterparts. The time reclaimed from commuting enables exercise, hobbies, relationships, and rest that compound into well-being improvements over years. The most devastating finding comes from longitudinal studies. People don't adapt to bad commutes over time. The negative effects persist and often worsen as commuters realize how much life they've sacrificed. Unlike other stressors, commuting doesn't become easier with practice. It just keeps extracting its toll year after year relentlessly. Time stolen daily. Health sacrificed continuously. Relationships damaged permanently. Your commute was designed by urban planners who prioritize car throughput over human happiness. See you in the next one.